So hello everybody. As you guys know, we do these trainings once a month, and they're a way of kind of breaking the gap between work, life outside of work, and kind of learning and mingling together a little bit. So it serves a lot of purposes. One is also bridging the gap of knowledge and skills and things like that. But today, I've been thinking about this for a while, and today I wanted to do something slightly different. And rather than just bombard you with a bunch of information and make another video that yet I'll ask you to watch, and some of you will watch, maybe not. I'd rather go to the root of what I would say is a problem. Like watching my videos is a symptom, or not watching my videos is a symptom. But it's not the actual disease. On Monday, I mentioned a little bit of something, and Wright wasn't there, but it was that idea of we all have to love what we do. And Wright actually lives and preaches that everywhere she goes, to every children, everybody. So I'm gonna go to that a little bit, and I'll share a little bit about my life that you guys have never, ever heard of or seen. So, you ready for that? All right, let's do it. Presenter is me, Darwin Fortuna, and we're gonna start with why. And you don't have to answer anything right now, but it's important that you guys think about what's your why. What's your why for architecture, for life? What's the reason why you get up in the morning? Why? Because if your why it's not strong enough, you will not be able to move forward in any profession, career, or lifetime, or lifestyle, or anything. If your why doesn't stand the test of time, things typically break. And when things get tough, you'll kind of quit because you don't have a strong why. So I personally discovered my why in architecture randomly. You guys have heard a little bit about that, but a friend of mine decided that he wanted to go to architecture in the Dominican, and I was lonely because I was gonna move to Santo Domingo, and I said I'll sign up for architecture. What's the reason? He said I'm good at math and geometry. I said I'm good at math and geometry too. Why not? So I used the I guess Julianian words. Why not? So I went, and the first assignment I got an F. Um, it was called expression. It was a weird thing because it was about concept and it was really weird. It's expression one with a professor called Mara Jimenez. Very tough teacher. And then I was like, what do I do? Um, I like the challenge. So I like the challenge and trying to figure it out. And then I moved from there. Um, so I said we'll start with a little bit of that journey, and I want you to go kind of go back in time and just imagine your perfect career and your perfect life. If you were to imagine your perfect career and your perfect life, kind of, what would that look like? If it's in architecture, it's seeing beautiful buildings that people like, that people enjoy. Um, is it also the people that you work with and the things that you do? Is it what's that perfect life? Um, what does it look like? Is it about style? Being able to present at events. I know Stephanie loves being at events and mingling with people and networking. Is it about being in magazines and getting recognition? Is it about driving by your buildings and seeing it? I like that personally when I drive by and I say, DJ, look at that. I did that. It's kind of fun. What about working with people, like amazing people that you like and care and trust, that you're highly rewarded by leadership and clients and contractors and your community, having an impact and having meaning in the work that you do. That's one thing that I would say your Kelly's got to feel and Nicole when we did this house for that Delia, that's her name. Yeah. That was very important. And a good life that you love, balance with your significant others, things like that. And I guess at this point, I want you guys to give yourselves permission to dream really big. I know that's a kind of a bit of a cliche word, but really, um, at the end of the day, there's really no limits. And here at Flow, there's no real judgment. In fact, I always say that we're like Planet Fitness, a judgment-free zone. So we don't judge anybody. Whatever you bring with you, we want you as you bring it, and we want you to be the best that you could possibly be. But if you imagine that big dream and I guess uh, big idea for you want, what would be stopping you from achieving that life? Is it education? Is it your spouse? Is it the place where you live? Maybe you want warm weather. There's nothing we can do about that. We only get a little bit here. Is it the company where you work and the culture of that company? And do you want to go to a company that has the culture you want, or do you want to change that culture? Um, is it fear? Is it money? Is it health? Is it lack of confidence? Is it the government? There could be a million reasons why you may not be getting the life and the career that you want. Um, are those external obstacles like money, time, responsibilities, expectations, limiting beliefs, failure, fear of failure? I've actually have both fear of failure and fear of success, and I'll tell you a little bit about that. So when I ran for the AIA Small Firm Exchange role as the chair, I was like, well, if I don't get it, I'll feel very disappointed and I'll be very devastated by that. But if I get it, I'm afraid because there's a lot of demands and responsibilities. And the same thing was when I was getting my license too. It's like, okay, I'm afraid like this is hard. It's gonna open new chapters of my life. And I was having a little bit of self-sabotage, to be honest. I don't know if you heard of that word, but it's when you do things that basically don't let you get to where you want to go because you're really just afraid, you know. And we say things like, "It's too late," "I'm not ready," "I'm not cut out for it," maybe "I'm not the right skin color or the right nationality," "I have broken English." There's a lot of negative beliefs that are there, and it's important that we go to the root problem. And sometimes it's bigger than anything I could do right now for you, but it's good that you go back to that, and it could be mom and dad saying bad things to you, and or a friend or a cousin or a neighbor. I remember. uh, I remember back in, there were three times that I remember. One was we were sitting at the bleachers. I used to play basketball, and there was this guy that was pointing at people saying, "He will make it. He has good family. He will make it. He will do well in life. His family has money." That kid right there, that was me. He's like, "Nope, he's not gonna make it." I don't know why he said that, but I've never forgotten that. That was before college. Like that was early, early, early. But the words that people speak to you, you have to deny that shit. You cannot allow that. You cannot allow anybody to define who you're gonna be. So the second time was actually that professor back in college. But she didn't do it too bad. She said, "I would not give you $1 million to design my house the way you are right now." And he kind of made me question me a little bit. And she was right in a lot of things. My mindset wasn't in the right place, so I have to admit that. And then there was another person here that told me I wasn't kind of welcome in like architecture. But that was here in the United States, so that was tough. But what I did was I channeled that and said, because what you think of yourself or what you think of me doesn't define who I am, right? I'm going to define who I am. So it takes a little bit of work to get through that, but you can do that. Um, And the question really at the end of the day is, do you really want it? Like, do you really want to do this? Architecture is very hard, like so hard. People make it look easy, but it's very, very hard. Like the consistency, the hard work. I mean, school is one thing. Oh my gosh, getting through school is one thing, but not sleeping, getting used to getting your projects ripped apart. It really defines you, to be able to take a lot of pain. Um, But there's two things you have to look at it. It's like, do you really want it or do you kind of want it? Like, if you kind of want it, you will always make excuses. You will always be too tired. You will just be hoping for something to happen. And hope is really not a good strategy. And you will always remain in your comfort zone and you're gonna always play it safe. You're always gonna play it safe. But if you truly want it, you're gonna decide and you're gonna create a plan and you're gonna become disciplined. And there's sacrifices. For me, for instance, like I would say my marriage was one, but I think it was for the best, looking back, but still was sacrifice because I was taking the exams. So I didn't have time for the family. Um, but you know, if you really want something, the right people will understand, and they will be there to celebrate you, and they will be there to be with you. So, but you have to take action. So I want to invite you today to start making the calls that you need to make, scheduling the exams that you need to schedule, get the books that you need to get, and the trainings that you need to get, and talk to mentors and friends and say, you know what, I want to do X, Y, and Z. This is as far as I want to go. I want to dream big. Like Zaha did it from like Iraq or Iran. Like these other people did it. They've done great work, and it doesn't have to be star architect, but it's define your own kind of path and what you want to get. Talk to people. If you need to go to school, schedule the appointment, schedule the test, get it done. Talk to people that will support you. We often kind of die slowly and quietly on things because we don't share them with some people. But like a flow, we're a good circle where we share things and we care. Um, and start following each one of those steps. To me, it's always been important to get clarity. I always ask like, Darwin, what do you need to do now? Like, what's important now? What do I need to focus on now? Because there's a lot of noise, like Instagram, Facebook, the news, the word. Oh my gosh. The more I look at Instagram, the more I feel like I don't fit. Like I'm like behind. Everybody's ahead and I'm behind. So that's how they call out the Facebook effect, by the way, which is actually making people more miserable than happy. So I commend you, Kelly's and team for not having Instagram. For a little while, you haven't had it. But it's distractions. So get clarity and then get courage and tell yourself there's two regrets. It's either the regret of having done it and fail at it, or not having done it at all. So whatever it is, just say, you know what, I'm gonna try it, and it could be with designs, with options. The client may not like it. What's the worst that can happen? Nobody has ever died from a design that you didn't like. Nobody has ever gotten crushed by that, so that's okay. And start taking actions on each one of those things. Break the problem into little problems, into little pieces, and then go one by one and grow. I'll tell you, it's really worth it to live the life that you want to live, the way that you want to live, and to be able to make an impact for other people like we dreamed at the beginning. So, um, and to that end, I guess I close on this, but I want to share another part. But it's win or fail. I kept going, and I'll share something now. But I had so many failures and so many moments where things didn't go the way I wanted them, and some people don't know. So I'll share something right now. So can you see my screen right now? Can you see my NCARB screen? All right. So this is the 6 exams I had to take to become a licensed architect. Right after school, and to make the long story short, when I started taking the exams, they didn't have a program to give you the results. So they didn't count the time because it took like over a year to get the results. So they started counting my time from when I first got my first result. So in their terms, I passed within 1 year, because it took like 2 years to get the results. So practice management, I passed it all the way back in November 7th of 2016. I graduated right in 2016. Just so you know, I graduated in May of 2016. So I passed my first exam. Some people were telling me, why are you doing that? You should wait. There's no rush. It's okay. But here's the thing. Um, it's my life. It's my dream. So I'm not going to let anybody define it. And I then took project management, and I want you to count the fails. So I failed project management because I took it right after I took practice management, and I hadn't studied and whatever, you name it. So I failed. So that's one. All right. So everybody repeat one fail. Say everybody one fail. One fail. Okay. Programming analysis. That sucker was a fucking monster. That was hard. So there goes three plus one. That's four fail. Everybody, four fail. Okay. Project planning and design. There's two more. That's six fail. So everybody, six fail. Project development documentation. How many fail is that? So six plus two, eight fail. I did pass construction evaluation. But here's the thing. My architect's license doesn't say that I failed eight times. And if I would have given up, look around you. None of this would have existed. Zero. Flow design architects would not be here if I didn't fail eight times. So I guess the whole moral of the story here is it's worth it. At the end of the day, you can change not only your life, but the life of a lot of other people. And you can make a path for so many more. And the projects that we've done, over 2,000 projects, is completely worth it. And this is not just about exams. This is about everything that you do. I failed so bad. And not only there, with my marriage, I also failed. But I got better. 6 years with Catherine. We're kicking it really well, you know. Still love each other. 6 years and going more. Um, Project issues have happened, and we're still here. So why settle for less? And why play it safe? Why do that? So I went from sleeping in the bed or on the couch of my mom 5 years ago in the pandemic. I now own a house. I now, I'm not bragging. I'm just telling you what's possible. So I own the house in Leominster, which is a two family, and we have the daycare. I have my house in the Dominican Republic. I have four apartments finished and 10 others under construction. It's not just about the stuff. My kids are doing well. They live well. They have everything they need. I get to travel. I get to do what I love. So don't play safe. Doesn't matter how many times you get down, get back up. Don't let anybody define who you are and what you're gonna do with your life. It's your life, and you get to live it the way you want to live it. And I'm sharing this again to go to the root of the problem. If you love this stuff, I don't have to tell you to watch anything. You'll find playlists yourself. You'll be watching it yourself. If you love this stuff, you would take this exam 1,000 times. You Kelly, I know you failed and you know how it feels like it, but I'm sure you're gonna fail less than me. So try to beat me at that. I'll give you a prize. Um,
This is being recorded.
um, yeah, and that's all I got for you guys. I hope this shook things up a little bit. I'll open it up to you guys. You can talk about whatever you want.
Wow, I don't know if I will cry in front of many people and being recorded at the same time. That's a brave thing that you just did and kind of inspire a little bit because we all know how hard it is to be an architect, to become an architect, a licensed architect. But you explaining it this way and kind of looking at all these fails that you mentioned, I mean, I can see how hard it was for you. And as you said, we wouldn't be here if you wouldn't keep trying. That is truly inspiring, Darwin, to be honest. And I'll give you a hug after this meeting.
Yeah, I'll
think
probably give
oh,
you a.
Tim, you can go first.
Oh no, go ahead.
Yeah, okay, okay. Darwin, I just want to commend you on that moment of vulnerability. Mainly just because it's really inspiring for me to see, especially as like a mentee, or like someone young in the office to like see what like everyone goes through, like what like you go through, what like all my coworkers go through. But also knowing just because like I'm really early in the architectural process, knowing that like there will be obstacles and that like I'm not the only one that's gonna face them, I think is it helps relieve a lot of the pressure, um, considering the things that I like what I have yet to face. So, thank you for that.
Yeah, I just wanted to second what Wendy said, both Wendy and Paul, though, on commending you for the courage that it took to be vulnerable, be open about your process in in light of trying to, get us to understand the state of the union, basically, and kind of where things are. I think the biggest takeaway is that regardless of how, many times you try, what matters most of the time or what's mostly visible is that the wins that you get, and the success that comes from it. It's pretty evident that you went through a lot to get to where you are as an individual today and where this firm is. Um, and that's definitely you explaining it in this way, basically, it should be a wake-up call to all of us in terms of our work ethic. Um, you've done 50% of the work, right? Um, and so it's on us to kind of put in that extra mile and try harder, try better at creating better, meaningful designs, putting in more in terms of our work ethic. You've talked about multiple times about designing something that is different and not something that's not, not everyone is doing. So I think by the virtue that you have pushed and kind of given us this license for us to use, to express ourselves in a creative manner. I think we owe it to you and also to ourselves to create good things, create things that will create an impact, create things that are, you know, that shake things up, that creates conversations. And once again, I do want to commend you for your vulnerability in explaining and in going in detail and showing us your fails. It's human nature for us to want to parade our successes and hide our failures, but in you showcasing your failures, it kind of makes it evident to us that we could do the same. So once again, thank you.
Thank you, Tim. All right. Um, with that, I'll let you be inspired, go conquer the world. Uh, Instead of, bragging about all of our successes, let's keep failing forward together and, finding our path, finding our way. It is so worth it. Everything that you do, trying a little bit more, pushing a little bit more, understanding a little bit more, it is so, it's beyond the money, it's beyond the notoriety, it's beyond all of that stuff. It's imagine each one of you also being able to create another branch of flow with another amount like this tile right here in different states, different places, or maybe not that, but at least looking back in life and saying I did the best I could in everything I touched, and I loved it, and I have no regrets. That's probably the best life you could have. Like I have no regrets, you know. Um, so I think you kind of now can see why things happen. Like Julio wasn't just a member of Flow; he was like my best friend. And I kept going forward because this is bigger than one person. This is not, you know, one individual or a one man show. This is the flow show. This is all of us, you know. So you're gonna see you've seen some of you, the elders, have seen all kinds of setbacks, the Mark Lawrence, the issues, the fights, and now you kind of get to see why um, I keep going forward, and it's because those lessons become almost like the muscle. So all of you, you know, you may be facing a zoning presentation. I fail a couple of times now. I was very cocky before. I fail a couple of zonings. And it happens. You may be facing a different kind of project or something that you don't know how to do. That's actually the best place when you're working on something that you don't know how to do, but you want to push it. You know, that's really the best, the challenges. So, and I guess since I've opened up my skeletons when it comes to some of my fails, the biggest ones, um, now you know where I'm coming from when I'm pushing you. So don't take it bad. I'll push you because I've already pushed myself very hard. So I'll push you. And my goal is that you push me back. All right? Push me back. Challenge me back. Push me back. Hold me accountable. No excuses. Let's go for more. Thank you guys. Bye.
Thank you.